Memphis, 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 nothing but Memphis.
Nothing but Memphis Showboats right here on the Captain's Log. I am your host, Brandon, aka the Captain. Man, it's been a few weeks, man. I've missed some things. So, packed episode for you guys. We're talking schedule, we're talking training camp, we're talking rules, we're talking merch, everything, guys. Everything I've missed over the past couple weeks, we're talking about it. So, let's get right into it. So, first thing that dropped, we're going to try to go in the order of the things that I missed. First thing I missed was talking about the schedule. So let me pod this bad boy up for you here. Boom. We've got the Memphis Showboats schedule. All right. So checking it out right here, starting off week 1 at the Houston Roughnecks. Should be a pretty nice atmosphere for the Houston Roughnecks. They're going to Rice Stadium for the first time. They were playing in TDECU. I think I said that right. Stadium beforehand the past 2 times that the Roughnecks have been around. So a new change of scenery over in Rice Stadium at the Roughnecks. That's going to be a tough one. That's going to be a tough one to start off. It's going to really test our offense and how explosive I believe this offense can be. That Houston Roughnecks D-line has about maybe 2 or 3 different combos of all USFL, all XFL guys. Just an absolutely stacked defensive line, stacked front 7. Their secondary might be where we can get them. Okay. And that's good for us because we've got Case Cookus, we've got Jonathan Adams, we've got DeAndre Overton, Vinny Papali, all kinds of offensive firepower to kind of attack that secondary if our offensive line can hold up against this stout defensive line. We're going to play the Roughnecks twice, so I think there's a chance we can get them both times. I'm going to chalk this one up to a win. I think Coach Flip kind of knows Curtis Johnson a little bit. You know, those two have played each other twice last year when Curtis Johnson was coaching the Gamblers in the USFL. So hopefully Coach Flip can kind of get in there and steal a win from them right off the bat. Then going on to week 2, we are going to have our home opener against the San Antonio Brahmas. The Brahmas are coming to town. 11 a.m. kickoff local time, 12 p.m. Eastern. On a Saturday, I guess not terrible. I had a couple of the Memphians, couple of the yacht club tell me they're not excited about an 11 a.m. kickoff, and I do not blame them one bit. Kind of early to start a football game, but what do we know? But anyway, yacht club showing up and showing out to that one. The Brahmas are going to be a tough out, but I'm a USFL homer. I think the USFL teams are just hands down better than the XFL teams. So every XFL matchup we come across, mark it down as a W, baby. I'm just dubs against the XFL. So there's 4 wins right there. We're guaranteed 4 wins if we beat the XFL conference. First up is going to be the Brahmas, like I said, coming to town. Again, another team that we might be able to get early here. Okay, this is a team that's going through a lot of turnover. They've got a brand new head coach, Wade Phillips, who took over after his Roughnecks team became the Gambled Necks, the Rough Blurs, whatever we're calling them. That hodgepodge of Houston Roughnecks colors with Houston Gamblers players. So Coach Wade Phillips is coaching the San Antonio Brahmas. He's got that air it out kind of offense. So this should be a good test for our defense. Carnell Lake. One of the things these coaches have talked about is I don't know about the XFL coaches. I haven't heard many of them speak, but the USFL coaches speak about there's not a lot of film. There's not a lot of film that these guys can kind of go back and watch. The USFL teams haven't played these XFL teams, so it's going to be brand new. It's going to be a new game plan starting from scratch. I guess you can kind of go back and look at how they played other teams in the XFL, but at the end of the day, you're going to have to come up with a whole new game plan for these XFL teams. Marking that one as a dub, starting the season off 2-0. We're off to a hot start, folks. Hot start, 2-0. Love to see it. Love to bring home a W in the Liberty Bowl for the Yacht Club. And then that way we can at least have an enjoyable rest of the day, right? With that early kickoff, it'd be a real shame if we lose that game in Memphis and everybody's got to go home just beat up and upset about that one. So week 3, big test week 3, the first huge milestone test, I believe, for us, going up against the back-to-back USFL champions. Yes, I know we are now the UFL. I hear people all the time talking about these USFL championships don't count. The XFL championships don't count. Listen, baby, the same coaches are here. Some of the same players are here. To those guys, it counts. All right. I'm keeping it on the record books. No matter how many times they scrub the USFL and XFL website, these are the defending champions. Week 3, Birmingham Stallions. We're going to be going to Birmingham for this one, a 6 p.m. kickoff. I like that. Good night game in Protective is always dope. Hopefully we can go in there and steal a win on the road. I'm not too confident about it. Just something about Skip Holtz and that damn Birmingham Stallions team, dude. They just win. There, you might as well call Skip Holtz Al Davis because they just win, baby. That's all they do. So I'm hopeful that we can pull out the dub there. If we can pull out a dub there on the road, we face them again in week 6 at home. That would be absolutely huge momentum. Great boost for that one. I think we're going to lose that one though. I think we're going to lose it. I think Skip Holtz is a little more established with his team as opposed to Coach Flip will be in this point of the season. So I think the Stallions win that one. Moving on to week 4, the Beast in St. Louis, the St. Louis Battlehawks. We are going up to the dome, the big scary dome, guys. Okay, it gets rowdy in there. It gets raucous. They're going to put 40,000 fans in there screaming their tails off. These people are so upset that the NFL just completely abandoned them, that they have dove headfirst into spring football, and I'm here for it. Good for the league, good for the game, even though their fans, yeah, they're loud. They're very loud. They're loud fans, and there's a lot of them. So gets a little annoying out there. Would love to go in here and rip the soul out of these Battlehawks. They just got their boy McCarron back. They've got some top-notch wide receivers. Their offense is looking deadly. I think that this one should be a shootout. This might be our little rivalry game here on the XFL side. Memphis and St. Louis share a same highway. I'm pretty sure. I think this is the I-55 highway. Not too far of a drive from each other either. We can start a nice little rivalry in this one if Memphis goes into St. Louis and takes them down. Got an 11:30 a.m. kickoff. Again, I'm not anything that kicks off before 12. I'm not a fan of it. Whether it's 12 local time or 12, if it's not kicking off at 12 local time, I don't like it. But it is what it is. We're going to have games on ABC and Fox and ESPN. So get in where you fit in, whatever time slots are available. Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate it, ABC. So St. Louis, we just lost to the Birmingham Stallions, if my prediction is correct. So hopefully this will be a good bounce back game. But I think if we lose to the Stallions, we'll probably lose this game as well. That's 2 back-to-back road games. Kind of get beat up a little bit. You kind of lose your confidence maybe. So I think we might take an L here. But after 4 weeks, we're sitting at 2-2. Sitting pretty at 2-2. And then we get to take on the Michigan Panthers coming to Memphis. 2 p.m. kickoff. I like this matchup. Everybody's been sleeping on the Panthers, including me. I don't think their quarterback situation is that good. I'm not a big E.J. Perry believer. He had that stellar half against the Pittsburgh Maulers in the playoff games. But what, I just haven't seen enough from Michigan. Their defense, that Michigan defense is going to show up. It is going to be stout. Their secondary, I believe, I've heard a lot of folks talking about their secondary. That seems to be their strength. But that's all right too, because guess what? We got 2 great running backs, Darius Victor, Trey Williams. Oh wait, Kennedy Brooks as well, Kareth White too. So I think Darius Victor and Trey Williams. Hopefully we can establish the run game early in this one. We're playing at home, like I said, big bounce back game. We just spent 2 weeks on the road, coming back home. Michigan's coming to town. Let's go ahead and win that one to move on to 3-2. We got the Stallions coming up next. Again, another 11 a.m. kickoff, guys. I don't know what's going on with these 11 a.m. kickoffs, but I guess that's the Memphis sweet spot, baby. We better get used to it because Yacht Club, we got to show up at 10 a.m. for for any tailgates, man. This is a little crazy. I would like a couple night games here and there in the Liberty Bowl. Let's get the lights on. Let's get it bright, prime time, looking sweet. But anyway, this is week 6 matchup. Birmingham Stallions coming to town. If we lose the week 3 matchup against them, I'm hoping we can win this one. So that'll put us at 1-1 against the Stallions. It'll put us at 4-2 if we can squeak out of this one with a win. Moving on to week 7, we'll be taking on the Arlington Renegades, the XFL champions. This is another team that I personally am low on. They've been consistently in the 7-8 range in most of the power rankings I've seen online, whether it be from other fans, whether it be from other news outlets, whatever. The general consensus seems that the Arlington Renegades are not that good. Yes, they're coming off an XFL championship. Yes, they had Luis MV Perez. I get it. Okay. I just personally, I don't think they've done anything in the offseason nearly as big, I guess you could say, as the Showboats, as the Battlehawks, the Defenders. I just don't think the Renegades have made very many moves. I think they're kind of sitting at that third, maybe finishing last in the division on the XFL side. So hopefully we can get a dub there. That game will be in Arlington, which is good for the players because they won't have to travel. The UFL hub is going to be in Arlington. So when the Showboats play Arlington, we'll already be there. So no travel for that game, which is nice. The guys get an extra day of rest. So I think we should be up. We should be ready for that one. Sitting at we've only lost 2 games so far, right, guys? I mean, we lost to the Stallions and the Battlehawks. So I think we're looking good. Going into week 8, we might be sitting at 6-2. And then we've got to go back up to Detroit to play the Panthers again. I think we sweep the Panthers. 2-0 victory here, even in Detroit. Ford Field's not the best home field advantage. They're kind of half in, half out up there at Ford Field. It's a 3 p.m. Central kickoff, so I'm not sure how the fan base in Detroit will show up for that one, but I got confidence in the boats on that one. And then we end the season with 2 big matchups. We've got the Week 9 DC Defenders. DC Defenders are my choice coming out of the XFL as the 1 seed. I believe they're going to win the division, conference, whatever you want to call it. They were 9-1 last year, and they only got better, and they only brought back most of their big name pieces. Jordan Teamu's back. That's huge for them. They'll be able to pick up right where they left off. They added some great pieces to the defense. That defensive line is another nasty, nasty defensive line. But the best thing about that game is that it's in Memphis. We don't have to go to DC for that one. We're going to be able to play in front of our crowd. 1:30 kickoff. I like that. Hopefully we can by that point DC should know who they are and we should know who we are. So that should be a good game. I'd like to say we win that one, but I feel like we might lose that one. One note about this Week 9 game, it is a regional broadcast. Okay, so Michigan Panthers and the Houston Roughnecks will also be playing at the same time. So all the folks in Memphis and DC should be getting Memphis versus DC on their local Fox station. And then people in Houston and Michigan should be seeing their teams on their local Fox stations. So a couple funky little regional broadcasts like that you guys got to keep an eye out. Tune into the UFM Twitter account, tune into my Twitter account, and keep you updated on all the games that are going on at the same time. And we finished with who we started with, the Houston Roughnecks. They'll come to Memphis, 6 p.m. local kickoff. I like that. Season finale, under the lights, prime time, Fox. It's set up for a dub right there. It's set up for us to win that game, clinch a 2nd seed, maybe 1st seed in the conference. Boom, we're in the playoffs, baby. Simple as that. That's all it takes. Easy, right? Easy. So Quick breakdown of that schedule. We will have 3 ESPN games, 5 Fox games, and 2 ABC games. So 7 out of 10 of our games will be on channels that anybody can get with a basic antenna, the old bunny ears, all that good stuff, man. So excited about the schedule, excited to see what we can be doing with that. 7-3, 8-2 is the goal. Okay, I think that's what we're going to need to get to get that playoff berth that we desperately want. So, moving on, training camp will be starting right around the time that this comes out. Training camps players start reporting on the 23rd and the 24th. Coaches are already in Arlington, boots on the ground, doing their thing, getting indoctrinated, I assume, and basic onboarding, orientation, all that good fun stuff that everyone has to do when they start a new job or go to a new job. So while we're on the subject of training camp, let's go ahead and check this bad boy out. A few key dates to know for training camp. This graphic here is courtesy of at UFL Shadow. The boy Jake over there from PFN. He does killer graphic work. One of the best graphic guys in the UFL community. Obviously, I got a little bias for my guy Ace, but this guy does very good work. So checking out the camp dates. Like I said, we've already talked about camp rosters are set, the coaches reporting, players reporting, and then March 5th through 8th, there will be some scrimmages between teams. Each team, if you have not seen, is going to be bundled up into 2 groups or into 2 teams per group. So each team has another team that they are practicing with, they're scrimmaging with. Our team is the Battlehawks. So that should be interesting. That should be very cool. 2 kind of what are supposed to be high-powered offenses on paper, kind of going back and forth with each other in the scrimmages. And then March 10th, we'll see our first round of roster cuts. March 22nd, a couple more scrimmages, and then March 23rd, the final roster cuts to get down to that 50-man roster. And of course, kickoff is March 30th. So a couple key dates there to remember. That last cut window between the 23rd and the 30th, I expect a couple free agent signings, maybe some trades, because we're going to have a lot of guys on the street. Okay, unfortunately, we're about to see 25 guys per team get released at the end of training camp. So that's an extra quick math, 200, an extra 200 players, 50, 100. Yeah, another 200 players out there on the street looking for opportunities. The benefit of everybody being in the same place is that all these coaches will be able to see all the players that get cut as well. They could probably sit in and watch some practices and see who's doing what. Obviously, coaches talk, so I'm sure they'll have different talks with each other about what this guy did, what didn't you like about this guy, all that good stuff. So I expect some last-minute moves right before we see week 1 kickoff on March 30th. Kind of ran through that one, boy. All right, couple more things to do, and then we'll get out of here. Guys, let's go. Let's take a look at the UFL shop, okay? Not a lot of options, okay? If anybody was expecting, like, a full store for some reason, I don't know why you would expect that. Why why would you expect the first day the store launches for there to be just a plethora of stuff? Like, the league doesn't even see the demand yet. Like, they've got to I don't know. Some people just gotta complain to complain. So whatever, man. The Showboats, we have one of the most products available with 15. All the XFL teams really don't have much of nothing. They don't have any hats. Everybody got these cool new little schedule shirts that I'm a big fan of. I'm definitely going to be getting me one of those. We got the game balls out. Ooh, excuse me. Ooh, excuse me again. Yeah, we got the game balls out. We got the cool schedule t-shirt. I'm a big fan of the schedule t-shirt. It's like those old classic little concert t-shirts that you get with all the tour dates on them and whatever. Got some decent stuff. Got the Breaking T vintage helmet over here. Got an Antigua Memphis Pro polo. The sideline shirt. That's awesome. And then this is my favorite part personally. These hats are much, much nicer than the hats that we got last year. Me personally, I'll be going for this bad boy right here, this little new era Memphis Showboats trucker mesh back hat. That's kind of hat I like. That's kind of hat I love. Nice little curved bill. I love it, man. I'm so excited about the shop. I'm excited to see the new things that they add to the shop whenever they get them. Under Armour was a big sponsor of the XFL, so you got to imagine Under Armour apparel is coming with UFL stuff on it. So, one last thing. Well, not one last thing. I'm sorry. Two more quick things before we get out of here. We're going to go over the roster one more time, and we're going to check out these new rules. So, if you have not been keeping up, here are some of the new rules. It's a good blend of the rules from the USFL and the XFL. Couple of quick points that we want to get to. Kickoffs will be the USFL kickoff. Encourages more returns, encourages better field position, more offense. Okay, that's going to be the running theme of all these rules. Is we're trying to manufacture a little more offense, manufacture some more points, manufacture some more excitement. Because let's face it, this is a TV product and we need eyes on the TV product. So, how do you do that? Offense, offense, offense. Defense doesn't sell unless you're the NFL. Bars, write that down, trademark by me. No one used that. Just spit casual bars right there. But it's true. Nobody cares about a defensive battle unless it's the NFL. And even then, they'll complain about it. But again, people like to complain. Anyway, kickoffs. All the kickoffs rules are fine for me until we get to this weird little punting rule. Any punt that goes out of bounds inside the 25-yard line will be considered a touchback. Wow, crazy. So what does that mean? No more coffin corners. Okay, those times where you would see a gunner run down the field and grab the ball out of the end zone and flick it back to one of his guys that's also coming down just to get it on the one to pin that team deep. That's non-existent anymore, guys. That will not be happening, unfortunately. So if you talk to the punters, I know I talked to a punter. I know other people in the community have talked to some punters. As you can imagine, not big fans. Not big fans of it. Special teams coaches aren't big fans of it, but it is what it is. The guys will just have to figure out I guess, a different way to punt. They'll have to adjust. Everybody's going to have to adjust. So it is what it is, man. Moving on. Replay reviews are pretty much the same as USFL and XFL. You can challenge anything pretty much at any time. You can do that once. And if you have a timeout remaining, and if you're successful, you will keep your timeout and you'll keep your challenge. So that's pretty cool. I like the replay system. Always been a fan of the replay system. That's one thing that both leagues definitely got right. Catch definition and pass interference. Basically, defensive pass interference will be a 15-yard penalty only, not a spot foul. It'll be a spot foul if they deem the play egregious, intentional, whatever. If they think that the defender was clearly trying to interfere with the pass, then it'll be a spot foul. If not, it'll be a standard 15-yard penalty. I like that because, as we know in the NFL, more specifically, Mr. Joe Flacco, old footsteps Flacco, kind of the pioneer of the, hey, let's throw it up a little behind our guy, see if we can get a defensive pass interference, get the ball into the red zone. Boom, easy 3 points guaranteed. So I like that one. Nice little switch up. Nice little rule there. Overtime will be the overtime shootout. Everybody will start from the 5-yard line, alternating possessions. It'll be a best of 3, and whoever scores 2 out of 3 times will win first. But I don't think we've seen it yet, but I assume if it just keeps going back and forth past the 3, next team to score wins, I believe. Yes, until a winner has been determined. Yeah, so they'll just keep going. No more ties. We're not doing no ties. That's ridiculous. I don't know how you can play a game and it ends in a tie. Like, are we playing the game to win or are we playing the game to tie? So, two more rules to get to, and then we'll be out of here, guys. Alternate possession option. So this is that 4th and 12, 4th and 15 play that it was in the XFL. In the UFL, it's going to be allowed if you are tied or behind in the 4th quarter. You will be allowed to maintain possession and run a play from the 28-yard line, your own 28-yard line, 4th and 12 play, do or die play. You get it, you retain possession of the ball and keep moving, and you can go take the lead or tie up the game, however, whatever position you're in. No onside kick. I mean, you can do an onside kick, but as we've seen, the onside kick is maybe a 1% chance that you'll ever get an onside kick. So this is just a nice different option for teams to go through. A game is never truly out of reach with this option on the table. So big fan of that one. Just makes perfect sense. Another one of the more controversial rules, the PATs. No more kickers involved on PATs. They will be all plays, scrimmage plays. 2 yards will get you 1 point. 5 yards will get you 2 points. 10 yards will get you 3 points. I get it. People don't want to see the extra point. The kicker's automatic. They should just make it no matter what. Well, here's the deal. They don't. Okay, we see it in the NFL all the time. Guys miss extra points. Okay, Brandon Aubrey kicked 2 years worth of extra points, which showed NFL scouts that this man is consistent. He can consistently get you that extra point. And in the NFL, you need that extra point. Like that extra point. Watch when a team doesn't get their extra point. Watch what happens to the outrage about that kicker, and if a team loses by 1 point at the end of the game, guess what? We're going back to that guy that missed the kick. But it's not entirely crazy. We're not going to sit here and be super upset about it. It is what it is. I'm here for the football. I'm here for the league. So this can also kind of encourage more explosive plays or more 2 and 3 point conversions later in the game, because that 2-yard try for 1 point isn't automatic either. You go up against a stout defense like the Roughnecks or the Defenders, and they can stop you on that 2-yard line, and you're out of a point. So now you're kind of chasing points the rest of the game. Do you go for 2? Do you go for 3? You've got to kind of mold your whole strategy around how you get your points after the touchdown. So that's pretty much all the rules right there for you guys. We talked about the schedule. We talked about training camp dates to know. Let's check in on this roster real quick, and we'll get the heck out of here, man. Longer episode. Sorry, guys. Hope you bear with me. Hope you come through all the way through. Looking at the roster real quick, courtesy of our boy Thorne, PFN, Nicholas Thorne over there at the newsroom. Dude kills it, man. If you go at Thorne PFN, go check out the man's pinned tweet. I think he's got his Cash App in there. If you go and use this roster that he does, I mean, he updates it every day. Every time the UFLPR releases signings or waves, he's in there. He's already got it updated. So shout out to Thorne, just a dude giving us all a tool that we can all use for free. I sent him some money for it, but do you send the man some money? He's just a struggling college kid. We all been there, right? Just get the kid a little lunch money. The kids need some ramen. Okay. Let the man buy some ramen. He's putting together rosters for us, guys. Buy the man some ramen. Anyway, looking at our roster real quick. Like I said, we got the addition of Trey Williams in there. Trey Williams was a beast, the lightning to Darius Victor's thunder, if you will, back there in New Jersey when they both played together in that backfield. Darius Victor will come in, first, second, third down, knock you out, hit you right in the mouth, and then all of a sudden Trey Williams sneaks in, gets the ball, boom, you guys are tired. He's off to the races for a quick 30, 40 yards to the house. So according to this, we are sitting at 73 players. So we have 2 open spots to go. I believe one of those open spots is from the Troy Warner retirement. Our safety Troy Warner retired earlier this week. So we're going to need to replace him before camp kicks off. But it looks like we should be expecting 2 more moves from the UFL PR account. Hey, man, if you made it this far, I appreciate you. You the best. If you want some Yacht Club merch like this sweet flag behind me, hit up my boy Bill right here. Vintage Varsity 901. It's growing across the ticker. Been going all show. Anybody in the yacht club that watches this, man, shout out to you guys. Gonna be in this thing a lot more consistently if I don't get sick again. Okay, I'm taking some good vitamins now. All right, I think I'm on a good vitamin regime. All right, so I can stay healthy for you guys. All right, these players are getting ready for camp. I'm getting ready for camp too. All right, I got to go through my training camp, get ready for the season so I can be here for you guys. All right, with that being said, as always, go boats, baby. Let's go.